y'all have provided us. You don't know how much I personally appreciate the way y'all have helped us in this case. We got a dangerous man off the street today. He is never going to see the light of day again. And, that's a good thing for not just our community, but that's a good thing for this country. So thank you very much for your help. I'll be glad to take a few questions. Don't know. Just know she's been transported to the hospital for treatment. There was a wreck. I don't know if the wounds are related to the wreck or not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, I think so. That Ford F-150. Don't know how if anything particular grew to that town. But that's where we got the latest gift, which came in late last night, I think, or last night. Followed up on it first thing this morning, and they were able to get some leads there, and it led to their capture. Where did the chase start? I'm not sure. My understanding is that they had located them at a hotel, and they spotted them, ran, and the pursuit ensued.
Sure. We spoke to some of the folks that called that chip in up in Indiana. They said they had actually alerted local law enforcement last week on Tuesday about that abandoned truck, and that it's taken several days for all the tips coming in to be able to get through those, get down to this. Was there something last night that changed your idea about why it might actually be a real sighting of Casey White?
No, I'm not aware of the earlier tip.
When will they be brought back?
Not sure. They'll have to be extradited if they don't waive extradition. That can take some time. Of course, court proceedings involved in that. Over here, I heard someone over here.
Will they actually be brought back here, or
yes.
The connection is just too deep to?
No, they will be brought here. He has to be brought back here, and she does, to face arraignment on the new charges. He is charged with escape. She has multiple charges on her now. They will have to be brought back here for arraignment. We've already made arrangements with the Department of Corrections. He will be brought here for arraignment. If it's 2:00 in the morning, it doesn't matter. The judge has agreed to come out. He will be arraigned and immediately transferred to the Department of Corrections.
Are you concerned about Vicky White coming back to this detention center since she works here?
She will not be logged. She will not be confined in this detention center.
Sheriff,
I hope she survives this. I don't know the extent of her injuries. I hope she survives it. We don't wish any ill will on Vicky in terms of her health or her well-being, but she has some answers to give us, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to get those answers.
Was there any kind of struggle?
Not that I'm aware of. I think it was just a pursuit. They wrecked and they were taken into custody. I understand he surrendered. I haven't got that information. I'm not sure.
How was she injured?
Don't know. I don't know if it's a result of wreck or if it's some other kind of injuries. I know.
Any indication, Sheriff, that one of them shot themselves during this chase?
Can't confirm that. I know that no law enforcement officers fired any shots for sure.
Sheriff, the eyes of the country, people across the world, in fact, have been watching and following this manhunt, from here in Lauderdale County and now through 3 different states. How have you managed to keep going every day and keep that energy that we've seen here throughout this search?
I just wanted to get them off the street. I was committed to that. I was committed to every resource we had available to us to use those resources to make this event happen, to make this press conference.
Yeah, it's buffering.
I've always expected this outcome. I knew we would catch him. It was just a matter of time. What was so challenging about this escape was, most escapes from a county jail especially, they're not planned. They're just sort of spontaneous. There are no resources available, no plan in place about what am I going to do when I get out here other than just run. This escape was obviously well planned and calculated. A lot of preparation went into this. They had plenty of resources, had cash, had vehicles, had everything they needed to pull this off. And that's what made this last week and a half so challenging. We were starting from ground zero, and not only that, we were they got a 6-hour head start on us. So it's been a very, and this just speaks volumes to the effectiveness and the efficiency. This is what they do. They track down fugitives, and today is obvious that they do it well.
Is there any reason to believe they had help in their escape?
No evidence that I know of that there was anyone else involved other than Casey White and Vicky White.
Someone going to get the money?
That I don't know about. That's not my deal.
He's talking yet, keeping quiet. Do you have anything to say once they're inside?
I have no idea. They're obviously in Indiana, and I'm here, so I don't really know what's going on as we speak. But
Are you all sending folks to Indiana? Do you have people up there?
the U.S. Marshals are up there. We will probably wait until they get back here. I don't see any need in us sending someone up there because they'll be brought back here. And now if they don't waive extradition and are up there for a while, we may end up sending a team up.
Sir, can you talk about lessons learned? We talked over the week about protocols that are in place for your employees, but will there be changes in the lessons learned?
Well, the lesson that I think I've learned, and I think everybody's learned, you don't know who you can trust. You know, I had every bit of trust in Vicky White. She has been an exemplary employee. And what in the world provoked her or prompted her to pull a stunt like this, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know. But, you know, I mean, you as a leader, you've got to have people in place in these key positions like she was in, that you have confidence in, that you have trust in. And when they violate that trust, I don't know how you can predict that. You know, we had the policies. You know, a policy is a piece of paper. It can't prevent anything. A policy is there for me as a leader to take disciplinary action when a policy is violated. I can't predict when someone's going to violate a policy. But you know, it just one more time, you know, I've learned that you just don't know people sometimes. You think you do, and you really don't know who they
How
are.
do you compare this moment to some of the other events that have happened in your tenure as sheriff?
Not just my tenure as sheriff. September of this year will mark the 50th anniversary of me beginning my career. I've never experienced a week like this in my career.
Sheriff, you've been in contact with Pat Davis, Vicky's mom. Of course, you had one sheriff that you said was kind of your liaison.
Yes.
Have you spoken to her since the capture?
I have not. That deputy has had her own.
All right, we're going to transition to WFIE. This is Evansville, Indiana, as they're talking to a local sheriff there after the inmate and former deputy were apprehended.
That appeared to be related to the Alabama escapee and sheriff's office employee that had fled the area. As we were working on this today, we gained information that a vehicle matching the description of a suspect vehicle was near our sheriff's office. So the U.S. Marshals Task Force and deputy sheriffs went to the area. Soon thereafter, the male and female fled in a vehicle on Highway 41 northbound, went past Highway 57. As you can see, they turned here on Birch Park Drive. They came through this grassy area. The Marshals Task Force officers intercepted them, actually collided with them to try to end the pursuit. When this occurred, the female driver of the vehicle shot herself, and the passenger was injured, not too seriously. They've both been taken to local hospitals to be examined for their injuries. Her injuries are very serious. I don't know the true extent, but I want to commend the Marshals Task Force for being here and working diligently with the Vanderbilt County Sheriff's Office to put two bad people and get them off the street.
Are these the Whites from Alabama?
Yes, they are. It is.
She's still alive.
She's still alive.
His condition?
What's that?
His condition?
He seems to be okay. She's in pretty serious shape.
Do you know where she was shot?
I don't know where she was shot, but it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Do you know where the pursuit first took place and where?
It was Highway 41 south of St. George Road is where the pursuit initiated.
Any indication on how long they've been in Evansville?
We can't clarify that at this time until we speak to him. We know the vehicle that was recovered had a date of May the 3rd. It's hard to believe that they've been here that many days, but we were lucky that we stumbled upon them today.
Yeah, the car wash surveillance photos were from the 3rd. It's only speculation, of course, at this point, but why would people on the run stay in Evansville for 6 days?
Well, they're criminals. Sometimes they do things that are unexplainable. But in this case, I'm glad they did.
How did
What
law enforcement catch eyes on them? Was somebody calling in, or did law enforcement just catch them? While they were
A
driving?
member of the Evansville Police Department observed the vehicle and thought that it could have matched the description of the vehicle that we've been looking for, and that's what we went to investigate.
Can you
So
talk-
the vehicle that's found at the car wash, was that impounded? The blue Ford?
Yes.
Okay. So
They changed vehicles.
Now, you guys don't remember the media.
they changed vehicles to a Cadillac?
Okay, so anybody here?
Was it a Cadillac that it was eventually stopped in the crash?
No, as you can see, it was this vehicle in the, it looked like a truck, wasn't it? Was it a truck?
Oh, it's a Cadillac.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. It is a Cadillac. That was stopped. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah.
Would you like to come up and speak?
Yeah, it was.
We'll just let the sheriff handle
Okay.
it for now. I know he's planning on doing a press.
Can you
conference.
talk about the cooperation between the various law enforcement agencies to get this done?
Yeah, well, probably one of the best federal agencies that we work with is U.S. Marshals Task Force. They do a very good job. They supply a lot of resources and personnel to us. And when we have serious crime that needs to be addressed, we can usually handle it through the Marshals Task Force in our office. And the state police is involved in that, and Evansville Police as well. So it's a very good multi-member law enforcement agency.
From when they responded initially to whenever the crash happened, how long was that?
Very short period of time. From the time we initiate the pursuit until the time it ended was less than a few minutes.
Do you think there were other accomplices that may have
Well, I'm sorry, we don't have. So.
with this? And obviously this has been national news. Has there been other ways that you guys have prepared for this? Were you guys expecting? I'm sure you guys weren't.
Well, anytime you have people that are on the run, you're notified, and you're keeping a watchful eye on any suspicious activity, suspicious vehicles. In this particular case, one of the suspects being 6'9", that's good for us because he wasn't a normal size human being. So it was an easy target for us.
Whenever criminals are on the run, even we in the media, even the regular Joe citizen wonders, I wonder if they come our way. When did you first get the indication that they might be coming our way?
Well, after the vehicle was located a while back, we at least knew they may have been in our area, but I couldn't believe that they had remained here.
Did they resist at any point when they were when the car did?
Oh no! Once the accident occurred, that they no resistance.
How long from the time that vehicle was found at the car wash until it was determined that was probably their vehicle? How long?
I don't know the time frame that they developed the lead that was probably related.
Sheriff Wedding.
were found in the car?
What's that?
How many weapons?
Just one so far, but we haven't really looked through the vehicle yet. We're going to get a search warrant for the vehicle, and we'll examine it later on this evening.
Sheriff Wedding, there were previous reports. I'm with 44
yeah,
on the other end of the camera. Sorry. There were previous reports from Casey White saying, you know, he was ready to go all out. He was even, you know, asking for law enforcement to shoot him. Are you surprised that it was Vicky White who pulled the trigger?
Well, once again, with criminals and criminal minds, they're very unpredictable. We don't take anything they say with any merit. That they can change on a dime, and this was a perfect example of that.
You said that it was Casey who was driving.
Well, it was the female who was driving. Yes. You know, the main thing is we're lucky that no law enforcement was injured, no innocent civilians were injured. The pursuit was short in nature, and we have both people in custody.
Sheriff Wedding, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, going to bring in Brady Williams, and you heard it right here.
All right, let's pop on here real quick. We're actually going to go back to Lauderdale County, Alabama. It looks like they're going to talk to their sheriff. We just heard him at a press conference. Again, Vicky and Casey White have been apprehended. Those were the two individuals, one a former deputy, one an escaped inmate, had been on the run for 11 days. They've been apprehended. Real quick, while I have you here, we don't have the sheriff talking quite yet. I'm going to bring him up in just a second. I'm going to monitor him, but I want to show you real quickly what we learned in those past two press conferences. Lauderdale County, Alabama officials confirmed both Casey and Vicky White have been apprehended. A Sunday night tip led to their arrest within the past hour. Vicky White is the only one of the two that's been injured, and they're considered serious according to police. They did not clarify if they're life-threatening. And the Lauderdale County Sheriff, who we're going to hear from again in a second, said, quote, "You think you know people, but you really don't know who they are," when in reference to Vicky White and the fact that she helped The inmate Casey White, again, no relation, escaped from that prison. It looks like they're taking an extra second to get the Lauderdale County Sheriff ready. So we're going to go back. It's going to flip the screen here. We're going to go back out to WFIE's coverage as they are talking to another official. I'm going to go back to their coverage just for the second. And as soon as that Lauderdale County sheriff starts talking, we'll go back to WAFF in Huntsville.
Officer who is accused of trying to help him escape. And that's been going on since April 29th. That's when the jailbreak happened. That's how long this has been going on. The most curious thing about this, and we asked Sheriff Wedding about it, was why on earth would two people, high profile, two people on the run, stay in Evansville, Indiana, apparently at least 6 days, because the photos that we've been showing from that car wash on South Weinbach Avenue were taken on the 3rd of May, and this is the 9th of May. We're going to gather more information out here, Jack, and I'm sure we'll have much more soon.
The good news there and the takeaway there, both are in custody, and so the search there is over. Randy, Brady, we'll talk to you soon, and we'll be right back.
All right, so it looks like they've gone to break there in Evansville, Indiana. That's WFIE, our great TV station. They're doing a wonderful job with that coverage. So they are where these two people, Casey, Vicky White, were found after a car chase, and they were found near Evansville, Indiana, not in the community, but in the surrounding community. So our station WFIE has been covering that. First, after this news broke, you heard a press conference from Lauderdale County Sheriff, who's about to, I think, talk to our great TV station in Huntsville in just a couple of seconds. And you also heard great reporting from WFIE in Evansville, Indiana. This is a shot of what they are covering. This is the actual scene where Vicky and Casey White were apprehended. We don't know all the details about this particular situation yet. Some of it's still being confirmed. We do know that Vicky suffered an injury. They're calling it serious, but they say at least now they don't know if it's life-threatening. It's not been categorized as that. They're just calling it serious. Police officials in Evansville are at this time. All this follows, first of all, an 11-day chase, and then a tip last night that you may have even seen the headlines, that let officials know. I'll bring up our interactive center here as well. In fact, you know what, Mike? I got you walking over to the screen. I'm going to go ahead and bring. It's my time to shine, Ryan. I'm going to bring you on here, my co-host and producer, Mike Bell. In the meantime, I want to make sure we have an eye on this actual site. Mike, going to bring you on here. Let's recap the past 11 days while we have a moment. We're waiting for the Lauderdale County Sheriff to speak about this situation. We heard from him earlier. He's about to talk to WAFF in Huntsville. Go ahead and recap for us these past 11 days.
Right. So, yes, of course, Ryan. So let's start at the beginning because, again, 11 days is a pretty long time, all things considered. Manhunt has ended. Vicky White and Casey White, Vicky on the right here, Casey on the left, from what we understand, looks pretty different from his intake photo here. I believe he pretty much shaved all of this off since this photo. So let's kind of go over this again. After 11 days, Vicky White, Casey White have been found and were arrested Monday afternoon in Indiana. From what we understand, Vicky White, the former assistant director for the sheriff's office, sheriff's offices pretty much across the country are in charge of not only patrolling counties, but also for keeping the jails, the county jails, staffed and maintained and whatnot as well. So she was basically not the assistant sheriff, but basically the second in command when it came to the jail of her area. They have been captured and apprehended. According to Lauderdale County Sheriff Rick Singleton, Casey White, man on the left here, and again, they both have the same last name, White. We believe it's just a coincidence. They're not related. They're not married, from what we understand. Casey White is in custody. Vicky White is in the hospital due to a self-inflicted gunshot wound. How serious that is, we don't know, but the authorities did say they didn't say it's life-threatening or not life-threatening, but they did say it's kind of serious, I believe, during the press conference.
Mike, you're doing a great job here. I want to keep an eye on. We got 3 feeds, and we're going to come back to your coverage here in just a second, Mike. We appreciate your recapping. WAFF now is going live on Facebook. Charles Montgomery is giving us some insight into this case. We're going to come back, though, to the local news live studio when either Charles isn't talking, when either we have a break with the Lauderdale County Sheriff, or maybe a break in the action from WFIE, all 3 of them. But when one of them is live, we want to go to their coverage. So let's go out to WFIE. This is WAFF, excuse me, Huntsville, Alabama. Their digital anchor Charles Montgomery recapping this case.
Anything else? Apparently, Casey was driving. That is who was driving the car when it ended in the wreck. And Vicky White, of course, with her serious injuries, she faces up to 10 years of prison with the charges she now faces, and it is just an incredible state of affairs right now. And so that is what we have continuing to develop. And Rick Singleton, he was very, very clear. They want to bring Casey White down to Lauderdale County to put him in court down here in Lauderdale County. And he was very adamant, saying if he has the opportunity to hold him again in Lauderdale County, they will keep him there and not have another breakout again. But again, this is where we started earlier on Monday with the truck, images of the truck being released, and them seeing this truck up in Evansville, Indiana, nearly a week ago. That led investigators of the U.S. Marshals Service up that way to look into that possibility. And by the end of today, they are both, Vicky White and Casey White, now both in custody. And so that is where we stand right now. That is what we have been told over the last 25 minutes. Things have developed so quickly going live up there. And so we will see what continues to come out of this. Vicky White right now in serious condition in a hospital in Indiana, suffering from gunshot wounds that were self-inflicted. And Casey White right now, we did not hear if he has any significant injuries. So we don't know that. He was driving the truck, but we don't know if he's suffering from any significant injuries at this time. So that is what we have right now, and we will continue to update you with the latest that we find here at WAFF.
WAFF, Charles Montgomery, their digital anchor, recapping on what we've seen over the past half hour with those dueling press conferences. Right now, we have a look at Evansville, Indiana. This is WFIE's cameras as they are on scene where that incident took place. Both Vicky and Casey White have been apprehended. It seems like that, Mike, you were saying self-inflicted gunshot wound. Am I right in saying that for Vicky White?
Right.
Okay.
With Vicky White, the former assistant corrections director for that county there. So self-inflicted gunshot wound being treated as a serious condition, serious injury, I should say. Meanwhile, Casey White, and again, I feel like this bears mentioning over and over. They have the same last name, Casey and Vicky White, not related, not married. I mean, White's a fairly common last name. It's like Smith in some ways. But anyways, from what we understand, they just are not related at all. Singleton, the sheriff there, confirmed that later there was not a scheduled mental health evaluation, I believe, for Vicky, if I'm reading this correctly. Casey White to a mental health evaluation at the time of the escape was when we've seen some of the footage. We might be able to replay it, some of it later. You see Vicky White kind of escorting Casey to a cruiser, basically supposed to go to a mental health evaluation. Very common when you've been convicted of various things, when you have are we getting another interview here?
We might get one here. So go ahead, Mike. You can continue discussing.
Okay,
I just want to show
I was just
this is
making sure.
you're fine. This is WFIE. This is Evansville, Indiana. Our crew's on the scene there. They might have another interview with a law enforcement official. And a reminder, we are waiting for the Fort Lauderdale County Sheriff to come speak. We anticipate WAFF in Huntsville is going to have that interview in just a second. We're back here at the local news live studio covering this massive breaking story as the escaped inmate and an ex-deputy have been apprehended following a car chase around Evansville, Indiana earlier today. This is WFIE. Their cameras are on that scene. As you can see, all that police activity. We do know that Casey doesn't appear to have any serious injuries. He is the escaped inmate, and that former deputy Vicky White did suffer a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It's been considered serious. We don't know anything further than that. She has been taken to a local hospital, and we are waiting for more from local officials in regards to what happens next in this particular situation. But Mike's been recapping it. Mike, it's been an 11-day incident we've been following with the help of WAFF in Huntsville.
That's right, Ryan. So I'm kind of going over the facts here a little bit more. Details about both suspects here, a little bit here. Casey White, the man you see here, I'll
pull you up here, Mike.
No, it's fine. The man in this case, Casey White, 6'9", so a little tall, I'd say. As a 5'10" human being myself, 6'9", I can't imagine being that tall. 6'9", weighs approximately 330 pounds. brown hair, hazel eyes. So he probably stuck out a little bit. Meanwhile, he also has tattoos of, so we don't have an updated shot here in this article, but I saw the shot earlier. At the time of the escape, he had pretty much shaved his entire head, shaved his face. So basically this picture, not very up to date. You have to imagine basically this with a shaved head, but also tattoos of eyeballs on the back of his head. So literally eyes in the back of his head for tattoos. Additionally, Casey has tattoos on his chest, arms, upper back. I did see one of the tattoos on his chest was basically the double thunderbolts. And I won't comment on that, but Casey has that. Oh, and a white supremacist prison gang sign, the Southern Brotherhood, consider arms and dangerous. Vicky, 5'5", 145 pounds, blonde hair, brown eyes. So again, they're both apprehended at this point. Vicky is in the hospital in serious condition for a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to authorities. Meanwhile, Casey, we believe, is not injured.
Yeah.
That he is in custody, whether he's in jail or at the sheriff's office or the police station in Evansville, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So here's the thing. Where did this, here's something, and I should clarify this instead of asking live on air, but this Lauderdale County, Alabama, and this ends in Evansville, Indiana. How far away is that, you think?
Mike, I'm going to look at that real quick. Obviously, I mean, I think the noteworthy part is how far the chase went. It's really from the southern tip
And for
of the
11
country to the
days.
west, yeah.
11 days, that's a significant amount of time. And the sheriff, whose name escapes me, unfortunately, I was taking notes, but and here are some pictures, of course, of what they believe was their first car. There's well, not the cruiser, but the car they used after that, which they dumped after the heat was on, basically. So they found that car, and then they switched to another car, I believe. And then there is surveillance footage here. Hopefully an ad does not pop up. There is Vicky White in the lobby of a hotel of some kind. Let's see here. The new video shows Vicky White at a hotel.
Mike, go ahead and pull that up just a little bit for me. I got you zoomed in here. I wanna
Right.
make sure we get this. Yep.
I see that. I should pay.
No, you're good.
Here, I'm gonna hit play one more time because she's kind of in the upper left here. The new video shows Vicky White at the hotel the night before helping Casey White escape. So again, this was basically the last time people saw the law enforcement officer in the news. This was the most recent tip that we received, thinking that the search has been on. The escaped inmate and the former deputy, now a former assistant of the jail for the county, allegedly helping him escape. And again, Vicky White, Casey White, not related, no relation that we know of. Governor Kay Ivey also said, so there's been awards issued for their apprehension. No idea on the current status of those, of course. But both rewards were offered for the amount of $5,000. May 4th, Sheriff Singleton confirmed Vicky White no longer a Lauderdale County employee. Dare I say, something like this happens, they probably don't want to keep you around. The evidence is kind of on one side. On May 9th, investigators with the U.S. Marshal Service were deployed to Evansville, Indiana, which is where this person hunt, I should say, ended after receiving a credible tip from the public. The last credible out-of-state tip led investigators to the abandoned orange 2007 Ford Edge that we already showed you here. And there we go. And they released, here's the thing, everybody. This is so detailed because, Ryan, there's cameras everywhere these days, especially at a jail, dare I say. So from the moment this began, you have records of it. You can see them getting into the car. You can.
Hey guys, give me a second. There's another channel that's live right now, okay? I'm so glad everybody's here. Thank you for piling in.
Pull you up here, Mike.
No, it's fine. The man in this case, Casey White, 6'9", so a little tall, I'd say, as a 5'10" human being myself, 6'9". I can't imagine being that tall. 6'9", weighs approximately 330 pounds. Brown hair, hazel eyes. So he probably stuck out a little bit. Meanwhile, he also has tattoos of. So we don't have an updated shot here in this article, but I saw the shot earlier. At the time of the escape, he had pretty much shaved his entire head, shaved his face. So basically, this picture, not very up to date. You have to imagine basically this with the shaved head, but also tattoos of eyeballs on the back of his head. So literally eyes in the back of his head for tattoos. Additionally, Casey has tattoos on his chest, arms, upper back. I did see one of the tattoos on his chest was basically the double thunderbolts. And I won't comment on that, but Casey has that. Oh, and a white supremacist prison gang sign, the Southern Brotherhood. Consider arms and dangerous. Vicky, 5'5", 145 pounds, blonde hair, brown eyes. So again, they're both apprehended at this point. Vicky is in the hospital in serious condition for a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to authorities. Meanwhile, Casey, we believe, is not injured.
Yeah.
That he is in custody, whether he's in jail or at the sheriff's office or the police station in Evansville. Correct?
Correct. Yep.
So here's the thing. Where did this? Here's something, and I should clarify this instead of asking live on air. But this Lauderdale County, Alabama, and this ends in Evansville, Indiana. How far away is that, you think?
Mike, I'm going to look at that real quick. Obviously, I mean, I think the noteworthy part is how far the chase went. It's really from the southern tip
and for 11 days.
West, yeah.
11 days. That's a significant amount of time. And the sheriff, whose name escapes me, unfortunately, I was taking notes. But and here are some pictures, of course, of what they believe was their first car. There's not the cruiser, but the car they used after that, which they dumped after the heat was on, basically. So they found that car, and then they switched to another car, I believe. And then there is surveillance footage here. Hopefully an ad does not pop up. There is Vicky White in the lobby of a hotel of some kind. Let's see here. The new video shows Vicky White at a hotel.
Mike, go ahead and pull that up just a little bit for me. I got you zoomed in here.
Right. Oh, yep. I see that. I should pay.
No, you're good.
Here, I'm going to hit play one more time because she's kind of in the upper left here. The new video shows Vicky White at the hotel the night before helping Casey White escape. So again, this was basically the last time people saw the law enforcement officer in the news. This was the most recent tip that we received, thinking that the search has been on the escaped inmate and the former deputy, now a former assistant of the jail for the county, allegedly helping him escape. And again, Vicky White, Casey White, not related, no relation that we know of. Governor Kay Ivey also said, so there's been awards issued for their apprehension. No idea on the current status of those, of course. But both the rewards were offered for the amount of $5,000. May 4th, Sheriff Singleton confirmed Vicky White no longer a Lauderdale County employee. Dare I say, something like this happens, they probably don't want to keep you around. The evidence is kind of on one side. On May 9th, investigators with the U.S. Marshal Service were deployed to Evansville, Indiana, which is where this person hunt, I should say, ended. After receiving a credible tip from the public, the last credible out-of-state tip led investigators to the abandoned orange 2007 Ford Edge that we already showed you here. And there we go. And they released, here's the thing, everybody. This is so detailed because, Ryan, there's cameras everywhere these days, especially at a jail, dare I say. So from the moment this began, you have records of it. You can see them getting into the car. You can see them going down the road, the traffic cameras, everything. Then we have footage of them at a hotel and more. Now, both suspects have been apprehended. Vicky White, the former law enforcement officer, in serious condition for a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Casey White, the former inmate, I believe, convicted of murder. He was supposed to be on his way for a mental health evaluation, also in custody, but not injured. I believe that's the most current update.
Yeah, Mike, I appreciate that recap on your part. Wonderful job. I'm going to take you off here real quick. And just a reminder, we're Local News Live, Great TV, 7-day-a-week digital network. We'll leave you with this shot here. This is a look at the Sheriff Department in Lauderdale County, Alabama. And actually, you know what? I'll twist back here real quick as we sign off. This is Evansville, Indiana, WFIE again. The escaped inmate and ex-deputy are in custody following a chase. The ex-deputy, Casey White, suffered serious self-inflicted gunshot wounds. We'll end the stream there. We appreciate you tuning in on Local News Live. I'm Brian Pierce. That's Mike Bell. Please stick with us. We'll continue to give you updates as we gain more information. But for now, a 3-minute break and back with more on Local News Live.
Streaming 24/7, you're watching Local News Live.
All right, this is crazy, crazy, crazy. They found him. Wow. I'm going to put the link up right now. Hang on one second. The car wash manager should get the reward. She tried to kill herself. She's had more issues with coworkers than we were told before. Just roll with it. Said, how could no one know she was planning for 2 years? Because that's her private business. That's what she was doing. Absolutely insane. So the manhunt is over. Thank goodness they are off the streets. Yeah, exactly. Rebecca Gale, you're exactly right. Thanks to a citizen. Exactly right. Yep, the car wash manager saw them. Let me show a picture of Lurch at the car wash right there. Same tattoos. That's him walking through. So you're on the run for your life, but you want to go and wash the car. Looks like Vicky kind of had her thumb on him because he was already into husbandly duties, right? What in the hell? Okay, so a few people were asking in chat, what do the U.S. Marshals do? Well, hang on one second. Take that down. The car wash guy should get the reward. He should get the reward.
United States Marshal Service. What's up, everyone? General Discharge here. Today's video is going to be discussing the United States Marshal Service. The U.S. Marshals are a federal law enforcement agency. In fact, the oldest law enforcement agency, and falls under the Department of Justice. There's a lot to learn about them. We're going to go over what they do, their capabilities, missions, training, requirements, and most importantly, their Special Operations Group. If you want the scoop on the U.S. Marshals, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Before we jump into it, make sure to take a moment and show us some love and support by liking our video and subscribing to our channel. Your support is our lifeblood. Do not hesitate to ask us questions in the comments section below. we check everything. Headquartered out of Arlington, Virginia, the U.S. Marshals are located in 94 federal judicial districts throughout the United States, so they are scattered everywhere in the country. The U.S. Marshals have a lot of responsibilities and missions that they are tasked with. We're going to give you a quick list of their primary duties. Then we will break them down briefly one by one. They're tasked with fugitive apprehension and investigations, transporting prisoners and JPATs, judicial security, prisoner services, witness security, asset forfeiture, and special missions and programs. We weren't kidding when we said they got a lot on their plate. The U.S. Marshals are very diverse. Okay, let's start off with fugitive apprehension and investigations. The Marshals are the federal government's primary agency for conducting fugitive investigations. The Marshals apprehend more federal fugitives than all other law enforcement agencies combined. To give you some numbers that showcase just how good they are at this, in 2014, they arrested more than 33,700 federal fugitive felons and cleared 36,800 federal felony warrants. And they arrest, on average, 361 fugitives every single day. They currently lead 60 district fugitive task forces and 7 regional fugitive task forces dedicated to locating and apprehending wanted criminals. Needless to say, this is their bread and butter. Let's move on to transporting prisoners. The U.S. Marshals manage JPATS, which stands for Justice Prisoner and Alien Transportation System. JPATS is one of the largest transporters of prisoners in the world, handling more than 1,000 requests every day to move prisoners around. So yeah, they do a lot in this department. Now on to judicial security. They employ the latest security techniques and devices during highly sensitive trials throughout the nation in order to protect federal judicial officials such as judges, attorneys, and jurors. Prisoner services. We'll keep this one brief. The Marshals Service houses over 55,000 detainees in federal, state, local, and private jails throughout the nation. Okay, now we're on to witness security. We're sure you're familiar with the Witness Protection Program. The Marshals have a hand in that. They ensure the safety of witnesses who risk their lives testifying for the government in cases involving organized crime and other significant criminal activities. Since 1971, they have protected, relocated, and given new identities to more than 8,500 witnesses and more than 9,900 of their family members. As you can see, witness protection and security is a chief responsibility for the Marshals. On to our second last item, asset forfeiture. They are responsible for managing and disposing of seized and forfeited properties acquired by criminals through illegal activities. Currently, the U.S. Marshals manage nearly $2.2 billion worth of property. That's billion with a B. And last but not least, special missions and programs. The Marshals carry out hundreds of special missions related to its broad law enforcement authority. It also responds to homeland security crises and national emergencies. They accomplish this by means of the Special Operations Group, or SOG for short, which leads us into the next section of the video, the SOG. Let's go over it.
Hey there, we hope that you're enjoying the video so far. General Discharge has a Patreon. If you'd like to help support the channel, please consider joining the team. Links in the description.
This is crazy, 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 guys. And I'm telling you, with tips and leads, the Marshals could do their job the way it need to be done. I'm kind of on the fence if old Vicky actually really shot herself, because the Marshals have a handy way of making car wrecks and things like that happen, if you know what I mean. So, hang on one second. Alexis, why in the world would you wash a stolen car? Because Casey was already in his husbandly duties from Vicky. I mean, God only knows what he was doing around the car and hotel. There was a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. The first post I saw from locals was there was a shootout in that area, and they were people that look very official. So it seems like they wanted her, but they want him in custody because Buford T. Justice down there in Alabama wants his man. But, you know, thank you so much to law enforcement. Thank you so much. Yep, he already messed up everything that she told him to do. He didn't spray paint the car. I mean, she had the green spray paint. He didn't do that right. It was still orange. They found that. So basically, everything she told him to do, he messed up everything. Sarah said, could have been an accidental shooting if she had the gun out while the car wrecked. Could be. It could be. You're right. You're right. But they got him. So, I mean, here's another good day in America when the U.S. Marshals get their man. So I'm going to play a song and shut the show down. Hold on.
Right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Amazing work by the U.S. Marshals. A guy that I am so in love with right now. I call him Sheriff Buford T. Justice. His real name is Sheriff Singleton out of Florence, Alabama. Indiana State Police. Vicky shouldn't have given him chores. That's what happens. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We're going to talk more about this. You guys are the best. Thanks for coming in on such short notice. Bye-bye.